Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sunny and Phoenix podcast, a weekly podcast where we keep you up to date with everything Phoenix Suns. This week, it's just me, Mitch Krumpetich, bringing you a little bit of Phoenix Suns news, along with some thoughts on the conference finals and just the finals overall. So check out our social media plugs and our t-shirt plug first.
Make sure to get a hold of us on social media. Our Twitter is @SunnyandPHXPod. Our email is sunnyandphxpod@gmail.com. And check us out over at our new host, the Deepish Thoughts Podcast Network, over at deepishthoughts.com.
Thanks for listening to the Sunny and Phoenix podcast. If you'd like to further support the show, you can head over to tpublic.com/user/sunnyandphx. That's teepublic.com/user/sunnyandphx. We've got t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, all kinds of stuff. You can get our famous cheese is warming up design, or just one that says Sunny and PHX. Again, tpublic.com/user/sunnyandphx. And go Suns. All right, welcome back to the Sunny and Phoenix podcast, everyone. So today, I'm just going to start off with some really, really basic Phoenix Suns news, which almost isn't Phoenix Suns news, but kind of is. So CBS Sports is reporting that De'Aaron Fox, the point guard from Kentucky, is set to work out for the Lakers and the 76ers. What does this mean for the Phoenix Suns? Well, one, Phoenix might be interested in De'Aaron Fox, draft him at 4, so if he goes before that, then obviously we won't be able to pick him. But more importantly, that would mean Josh Jackson might be available, assuming that Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball are also taken before. But if the Lakers or Sixers take De'Aaron Fox at 2 or 3 and Josh Jackson is available, I personally think that would be an amazing fit for the Suns, and would love to see De'Aaron Fox wear purple and gold or blue and white and red for the Sixers. So there's going to be a lot of rumors and that kind of stuff surrounding these prospects. And, who are they working out for? I guess Malik Monk is really high on the Sixers radar as well. So keep an eye out for that. Next up, I guess I'll just jump right into conference finals talk. It's been kind of interesting. There was one good game where the Celtics beat the Cavs. That was without Isaiah Thomas, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, we've got the Warriors-Cavs 3 coming up starting this Thursday, and it should be an exciting series. There's a bit of controversy surrounding, are we tired of seeing this matchup? Is it even going to be any good? I'm trying to take an optimistic outlook and say it's going to be a great series. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's just take a quick look back at how the conference finals games went. The Spurs playing the Warriors, not much to write home about. Kawhi Leonard was out for most of it. The Warriors didn't have much of a challenge at all. The Spurs just kind of fell apart. Just showed that they can't really run with the Warriors, with Kevin Durant and Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and that whole team. It's a special team for sure. We have to take that into account. Whether you like them or not, they are a special team. So yeah, they kind of steamrolled the Spurs, which as Suns fans we love seeing. I don't really like the Warriors all that much either, but anytime that we get to see the Spurs get dismantled like that, I will take it. I was really actually hoping that the Rockets would be the team facing the Warriors. I mean, the Rockets would still probably have lost to the Warriors in 4 games as well, but whatever. It was kind of nice to see the Spurs get destroyed. In the East, the Cavs and the Celtics, kind of a more interesting series because it went 5 games. There are a couple noteworthy things that I want to touch on here. If you haven't listened to it already, I highly suggest checking out Zach Lowe's podcast with Brian Windhorse. I believe it's his most recent episode. But Brian Windhorse is just an expert on all things Cavaliers basketball and LeBron James. He does a really good job covering that kind of thing. And normally, he wouldn't be someone I would listen to because I don't really care all that much about Cleveland. Who really does? But whatever. But Zach Lowe, if you've listened to the show before, you know that I'm a gigantic Zach Lowe fan, and pretty much anything he says is canon to me. So I really like the way that he presents these interviews with these team-specific guys, and he does a really good job with Windhorse, and Windhorse really knows his stuff. He really does. So it's a really interesting episode, but check that out to get the full explanation here. I'm going to kind of summarize what they talked about. And one thing that Windhorse really emphasized is that LeBron is getting older and that he is kind of accustomed to not playing as much and sitting out a little bit. And in the series against the Celtics, he didn't do that, obviously. And there's one case where LeBron went up for a pretty routine dunk for him and missed it. The ball popped off the rim and went flying, and it was a little bit embarrassing. I mean, how embarrassed can you get when you're LeBron James? But whatever. And Windhorse said, you know, LeBron probably expected to get up an extra inch and be able to just slam that thing home. When he didn't, it was kind of surprising. I mean, LeBron is aging. He's a great player still, obviously. In my opinion, the best player in the world right now. But, you know, there are going to be little things like that where he's not used to playing this often. He's going to have a couple mistakes like that. That was game 3 that the Celtics beat the Cavaliers. It was 111 to 108. And again, without Isaiah Thomas, which was really surprising. You know, LeBron having an off night just goes to show how important he is to that team, which, I mean, I just feel like this is also obvious, but whatever. I was a little bit surprised that Boston even won one game, but it was cool to see. And, you know, Kelly Olynyk having a couple decent games. I'm always happy to see former Zags do well, as anyone who has listened to this show knows very, very well. The other thing I've been impressed with from the Cavs is Kyrie and Kevin Love. They've both been playing very well, and if they can just play to their full potential, then we will have a really interesting finals. But that's a big, big, big what if. Even if they do play to their full potential. This is another thing that Brian Windhorst mentioned. Last year, when the Cavs played the Warriors in the finals, LeBron was able to play a bit of free safety on defense, where he's not really guarding anyone. He can just pick up whoever the biggest threat is, whoever has the ball, all that kind of thing. The Warriors don't have Harrison Barnes anymore. They have Kevin Durant instead. LeBron's not going to be able to go free safety. I'm sure you have heard this a million times, but I think it needs to be reinforced. LeBron is not going to be able to play free safety. And what the Cavs do on defense is going to be really interesting. That's something that I'm going to look for in the finals, is how do the Cavs defend the Warriors? No one has been able to defend them at all. And actually, I've got ESPN right now, and on the bottom line, it said the Warriors have a 93% chance to win the game. Or not the game, win the finals, the whole series. 93% is pretty favorable for the Warriors, if I do say so myself. So that's going to be interesting to see if the Cavs can even get a game. Now, I'm going to get into my opinions here. I do think the Cavs will get one game. I think LeBron will just ball out for one game, go crazy, drop 40 or 50, and they'll win the game. And maybe Curry and Durant both have really bad nights or something. But my prediction for the finals is Warriors in 5. And the reason I say that is because the Warriors beat the Spurs in 4 games. while the Celtics beat the Cavs once. So that's just a day of rest that the Cavs don't get. We're realizing how important these days of rests are for LeBron, and I think that's going to make the difference right there. If the Cavs would have swept the Celtics and just won in 4 games, I probably would have said Warriors in 6 or 7. Again, I would just really love to see it go 7 games no matter who wins, but I just don't think that's going to happen. We're not going to get it 2 years in a row. Now let's talk Cavs versus Warriors 3. Is anyone tired of seeing this matchup? Let me know if you are tired of it. I'm really interested to see what other people think. I have 2 trains of thought here. One, it's pretty apparent that the 2 best teams in the league are facing each other. That's what these 7-game series are designed for, to make sure the best team wins. I think it's going to be a great series. It's going to be very entertaining basketball, which we've seen from both of these teams all year long. It's not going to be any different. Would I like to see something a little bit different? Sure, I would. It's been 3 years in a row now that we're getting the same finals matchup. I know the teams are different. I know that, Cleveland has Kyle Korver now, and obviously Golden State has Kevin Durant. But I'm just a little tired of seeing these same 2 teams. So let me know if you're tired of it, or if you think it's cool that we've got these dynasties, if you will, that are facing off. I can see how that is cool as well, but a little bit of variety never hurt. The only problem is if the other team in the West would have won, it would have been the Spurs in the finals, and I would not be able to do that. I know this is surprising for a Phoenix Suns podcast, and I'm not a big fan of Manu Ginobili, but congratulations to him on his career. I don't know if he'll retire, but when you see a guy who's played that long and is so passionate, you have to respect that, no matter what the name on the jersey says. So congratulations to him, and I will probably never say anything nice about a Spurs player ever again. Except while we're doing this, let me just get this out of the way. I love LaMarcus Aldridge's jump shot. He didn't have a very good series, but let me just get all of this out now. I really like the way that he uses very little energy to shoot. He conserves so much energy, and his form is just really interesting to me. Okay, now I'm done. Oh, that was tough. Let me just move it to the East or something. Variety in the East. I mean, as long as LeBron is in the league, whoever LeBron is playing for will probably be in the finals for the next, 2 to 4 years. Let's go with that. He's just unstoppable, making plays. He knows the game so well. And I'm not a LeBron fan. We talked about this last year during the finals on the show. It was a little bit more heated because David was getting going, and we had Draymond Green kicking people and all of that. But yeah, this year is a little bit different, but still the 2 same teams. Getting a little bit tired of it. If it happens next year, oh my gosh, it'd be an amazing feat. But that would be, I don't know how easy that would be to watch, seeing Cavs Warriors for a 4th time. I think that's about all I got. I guess I'll talk about who I'm rooting for. I don't really like either team, but I guess if I really had to pick one, I would pick the Cavs, just because they don't have as good of a chance to win it all. And I don't really like that Durant went to the Warriors, but that's old news. One last thing I want to talk about that I think is really interesting is Enes Kanter. I think it's important to talk about this. Enes Kanter has been detained by the Turkish government. I don't know if he's been detained, but he had issues leaving the country because Turkey considered him a terrorist. And Enes Kanter has been very vocal with negative comments against the Turkish president. And I think it's really interesting to see how all of these political factors are playing into Enes Kanter's life right now. I can't even imagine being in his situation. I kind of think, what if that same thing happened in America? With we see all these protests and that kind of thing. What if all of those people were considered terrorists? I mean, obviously, I understand that this is America, and that wouldn't happen because we have freedom of speech and freedom to protest. But just what if? I think it's really interesting to see, and who knows what's going to happen to Enes Kanter, and will it affect his career? Probably not, but I just think it's a very, very interesting story, and I like keeping up with it to see how that plays out. So keep an eye on Enes Kanter. Good luck to you. I think that's about all I got this week. We're going to be ramping the draft talk up quite a bit and have a lot of exciting things coming at the Sunny and Phoenix podcast. Draft, Summer League, we're getting there. This is a tough time of year for Suns fans. We get it. It's tough for us. It really is. So stay tuned. We appreciate everyone for listening. We appreciate everyone giving feedback. Got some emails this week. Just love all the feedback. Keep it coming, please. We appreciate all of you and everyone who listens to the show. Big, so much appreciation for all of you. So thank you for that, and I will wrap it up the way that we always do with non-sports related plugs. And for my metal minute, I think that's what it is, I'm going to plug a band that I plugged not last week, but the week before, I believe, called Thy Art Is Murder. Really, really good. I plugged the album Hate a couple weeks ago. This week, I'm going to plug Holy War, which came out in 2015. I bought both of these albums at the same time because they're both just so good. My favorite songs on Holy War are Absolute Genocide, Holy War, Coffin Dragger, and Fur and Claw. They're all just super heavy, very, the very top of the deathcore genre right now. I'd also be interested in hearing if any of you ever listen to what my suggestions are, because I feel like most of our listeners probably are not deathcore or heavy metal fans. So if you've ever listened to one of my suggestions or read one of David's comic book suggestions or checked out any of Chuck's Game of Thrones type stuff or whatever he plugs, his air conditioning or his pool or whatever, let us know in the comments. Email us. Thanks for listening, and go Suns.